So this is Barney Craig Mine Shop, which is now Carrshield Village Hall and Arts and Crafts Centre. We have a simple camping barn upstairs, and then we have a pottery downstairs. Now the mine shop was built in the 1820s and served as a workshop and accommodation for the lead miners in the area. In 2017, the almost derelict building was gifted to Allen Valley's enterprise for the benefit of the people in Carrshield by Lord Allendale. And then with the help of Historic England and Heritage Lottery, they started doing the renovations in 2017, 2018. We wanted a meeting place, Philip. It's a very isolated rural community. We're 17 miles from the nearest town, 7 miles from the nearest pub. We haven't got anywhere. All of the original buildings that were meeting places had closed down. There was nowhere where we could hold village meetings or even pub afternoons, that sort of stuff. So, and then it just moved on from there.
Yeah, I got sort of swept along by my wife's enthusiasm. We got involved at the very outset. The building had been there'd been a bit of refurbishment work done before we got involved, but then once we decided to make it into a village hall, I was involved from there. And my wife got a lot of grant money to put in things like, well, the kitchen and the floors in the hall and such like.
Well, my specific role is as booking secretary, one of the roles. So I'm involved in keeping the diary, in effect, and encouraging people to use the village hall.
She's very good at that.
Yeah. Strong arm tactics. We have every week on a Thursday night, we have games night, and you'll have seen that we've got a pool table, we've got a ping pong, sorry, John, it's not a ping pong table, it's a table tennis table. And we've got dance board and chess and dominoes and poker, but no money involved, apparently. So that's a really nice, regular meet-up for people. And then monthly we have what we call pub afternoons or evenings, depending on the time of year. And they've been themed. So we've had, I think we had a St David's Day one. We had a Burns Night one, which was great fun. We had haggis and neeps and the works, and the hall was brilliantly decked out. For that, in the summer, we've had a duck race, rubber ducks going down the river, and that was quite fun. Also, we'll have Pilates every week during term times. And then we have our knit and natter, which is more of a come and have a coffee and a chatter. And if you want to knit or stitch or whatever, doesn't matter.
I lived in the area most of my life. Born at Allendale, then just shifted over here with my parents and lived more or less all my life. I like the sports night. They have a pubs afternoon I come to it. The sports night's canny because you can get a game of pool there or dominoes we play, a game of cards.
And presumably it's a nice opportunity to catch up with neighbours and friends.
Oh, it is, yes, definitely, yes. It's nice for every village, I think, to have a place for a meeting place like.
Yeah, well, I actually live just over the hill, and I don't belong to part of a community because we're right in the middle of nowhere. And so I found the Knit and Natter here as somewhere to meet people, and I feel like I've become an honorary Carrshield member.
I'm the Village Hall advisor working for Community Action Northumberland and been in post for forever. The first thing I wanted to do when I was asked by ACRE to think about a village hall, the first one I thought of was Carrshield. Most communities have a village hall already. They have trustees already, and even though there might be a turnover, here it was brand new. They had a building that needed renovation. It was off-grid. No water, no electricity, no power, no heat, nothing, in the middle of nowhere. And it was an exciting project, but the passion that they brought in that conversation was unbelievable. And I've walked in today and here they are, the same people with the same amount of passion, and they've done it. And it's here and it's amazing.
Oh yeah, it's a really good opportunity actually to get this studio here, because I've been teaching pottery about 20 odd years now, and when we moved up into the area, I thought I had the chance to get a little studio, but I miss teaching. I wanted to get back to teaching, and this gave me the opportunity to have a room big enough to be able to have 2 or 3 people. I don't want lots of people around. It's nice to be a really intimate sort of thing. This is the perfect space.
A camping barn is really exactly as it sounds. It is somewhere to camp without the hassle of a tent. And obviously in the North Pennines, the weather can be somewhat inclement, so it's nice to have somewhere to dry out of an evening, somewhere where there's a nice fire to keep you warm and beautiful views straight out through the window. It's the upper floor and was the first part of the project to be completed 4 years ago now, and is now being used throughout the year by people from all over England, Scotland, and we've recently had some people from Europe staying here while they did Isaac's Tea Trail, which goes past the door almost. So the money, not that we do make much money from it, does go into the upkeep of the building for not only the camping barn, but also for the village hall downstairs. So it's important to keep this side going so we can maintain the village hall for the broader community, not only those people in Carrshield, but also in the neighbouring communities who come into craft fairs and other things as well.
It's a responsibility to manage a building, a public building, and there's a lot that comes with that, which would be learning how to be a trustee, adhering to charity law, adhering to health and safety issues, managing the building so that you're being open, transparent, that you're looking after the people's safety. And then on top of all that come the activities. So there's 2 different things really. There's managing a physical building and managing what happens within it.
But yeah, to be honest, it was quite scary at times because we were dealing with huge amounts of money, and it was important to get the project done according to budget and on time, and then lockdown occurred, and getting people to do the work was quite difficult as well.
So a lot of the advice that I will give is about charity law. It is about how to be a trustee, the bit of the boring stuff, how to stick to your governing document and do things as you're meant to. But there's an awful lot of other support, like how to get a licence, what you need a licence for, how to operate the village hall, and very, very practical things. Sometimes it's formal, as in I do some training on trustee responsibility or whatever, and other times it's literally popping in, seeing a village hall, chatting to the trustees. It could be just a phone call, but the phone call can make all the difference to whether a trustee group is doing things properly. And it's great fun, and most of the people are very, very supportive and appreciative really of the support that you give.
It's been a tremendous learning curve. We've learned all sorts of things, and certainly Louise and Can, Community Action Northumberland, have always been the go-to people when we've been stuck. And really without them, we wouldn't have been where we are today.
It's a focal point. It brings people together, and community around here is so important because we're so rural, so we're so in the middle of nowhere. You rely on each other, especially during winters.
I think it's given a chance for people to realise how much they've got in common. Actually, you see the same faces doing things that you realise how much you share.
And it's just something on the doorstep that you haven't got to get the car out and travel off down to Hexham, that sort of stuff.